girl turned into woman and rising to the highest levels of government and offering advice on how other students can do that.
Well, first of all, our campaign was never about her free speech or her political views. That's the thing. What we had a problem was with honoring her with an honorary law degree. Well, we believe she tried to circumvent the law when they allowed torture in Iraq and when they misled the American public about WMDs in Iraq, and that's what it was about. It wasn't about her free speech or her being a conservative or a liberal or whatever. We welcome all sides of the debate in our university.
She was at Stanford University for 30 years. She was provost of Stanford University.
Yes.
Are their standards so much lower than Rutgers that she's acceptable at Stanford but not at Rutgers?
Oh no, we never pretend to put out any statement like that. We are.
But you are in effect condemning the Stanford students and their judgment and the professors there.
No, not at all. Maybe there are some Stanford students that are not in favor of her teaching at the campus. Maybe there are some that we just voiced our concern, and it happened to end up in that she canceled her appearance at our university.
So Megan, if I can interject here, I think this is actually a good way of summarizing the issue. It's that some students agree, some students disagree. It's not that people at Stanford are just evil or in favor of horrible things, which is what you'd be led to believe. It's that there's a realm of civil discourse, and we think Condoleezza Rice, as Secretary of State, as a prominent figure who has accomplished much, she has controversial views, as every politician does, but we think that if we are a society which values the ability to exchange ideas and to have college students end their experience with hearing a position they may, hearing a statement from a person who espouses a position they may disagree with, we think that's an expanding exercise. We think it's something that is good for the university community. We think it's very sad that some people's political views have denied the rest of us the ability to hear her.
Now, with all due respect to Rutgers, and I say this having gone to Syracuse, Stanford is number 5. It's ranked number 5. Rutgers 69. So they've got pretty good standards over there. She bowed out. She bowed out in a very classy way. She bowed out in a very classy way. Do you feel bad? Do you wish you had handled it in a more classy way rather than these protests when people got hurt and calling for her head and saying she lied?
We tried to do this through the channels that are established, and it wasn't. We couldn't get meetings with our president. We couldn't get meetings with our vice chancellor of undergraduate affairs, and that was where the problem started. We needed to do some action to be heard. We just wanted a meeting to discuss this, really. And it's not about her speech or her ideas. It's about her actions, concrete actions during her tenure as a public servant.
You know that she was never brought up on war crimes. In fact, some of the Bush administration was. She was not. You realize that, correct?
That's the problem. We think that these people should be held accountable.
She's guilty in your head. That's what you object to.
Well, no, I'm just saying that it should be investigated further.
She was never charged. She was never tried. She's just guilty in your head. That's the offense.
At the forefront. No. She's not just guilty in my head. That's not how it works. And I'm not trying to impose. That's why we don't even put out a list of who we agree with and who we don't agree with. That's not what it's about. It's about looking into someone who is clearly related and closely related to these actions, putting forth the idea that Iraq had WMDs, and now 11 years later, clearly they're not there.
I gotta go. Give me the quick last word.
Yeah, just as a quick example, we think that there are issues which are hotly contested, which involve the loss of life. The pro-life debate is one example. We think that this is a situation where people differ, people have sincere opinions, but this is not something that should be allowed to silence the views and to deny us the ability to hear.
In other words, your group wouldn't shut down a pro-choice
Exactly.
speaker,
Anytime you bring a Democrat to
even though they believe that they
something
favor
I see as murder, but I don't go out there and protest.
Guys, thank you both for being here. We
Thank you for having me,
Megan.
Well, the White House had to mount a new defense today as we heard more calls for accountability.